I am here a part of the development team. I sell sponsorships here. We're very excited about today and hearing from our 5 inductees. These 5 inductees have represented the spirit of Grand Canyon University throughout the ages, and we are proud of their professional achievements as well as their achievements in their local communities. Before we get started with inducting them, I wanted to introduce our president of GCU, President Brian Mueller.
Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you very, very much for being here and participating in this homecoming event, especially this event. This has become a big event for the university, and I'm really happy to see how many of you have come and are attending today, so thank you. Karsten just graduated. When did you graduate, Karsten? Last April. He moved. He started selling sponsorships. Now he's going to take over alumni effort, and so things are moving fast here. We're very excited about what's happening on our campus with our students and the quick contributions they're making in the economy. And for those of you that were here in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, I've gotten to know many of you, and it's always fun for me to talk to you and hear about the stories about things that happened on the campus during those decades and during those times. And you know, we've been blessed, and the campus has grown tremendously. We have almost 21,000 students here, and the campus extends all the way to 27th Avenue, and so there's lots of things here, classrooms and laboratories and residence halls and restaurants and athletic facilities, and we're thankful for those things. We're grateful for those things. God has blessed us in incredible ways, but I want you to know, those of you that were here in those decades, that the one thing that hasn't changed is the stories that I heard were not so much about facilities in those days. The stories were always about professors. They were about professors and how they poured into the lives of students and how committed they were to the total development of students. Certainly that they were mastering academic areas and they were preparing for careers, but they were also preparing for a life of Christian service. That comes through in spades every time I talk to people, and it doesn't matter who it is. We've had the good fortune of bringing back a lot of people. Kevin Warren was a student here, I believe, in the 70s. He's from South Phoenix. He's an African-American man who played basketball. He went on to Notre Dame Law School. He's now the chief operating officer of the Minnesota Vikings. He's making a huge impact on this world. And every time as a board member I ask him to help with this project or that project, he always steps up. And even though he went to Notre Dame and now he's with the Minnesota Vikings, the stories he most loves to tell about his life are the stories about this campus and about the faculty members that poured into him when he was on this campus. He calls them by their name. He recounts lessons that they taught in the classroom. He talks about things that happened outside the classroom. And I think with everything that he's experienced in his life, for him to go back always to that is really grateful. And what I want you to know is that hasn't changed. I've been around schools, high schools and colleges and universities for 42 years now and have been a part of some really tremendous faculties and have been blessed to do that. But I will tell you, I've never been around a faculty that is committed as this one. From small class sizes to they know students by their names. They meet with them in the classroom. They meet with them outside the classroom. They pour into them. They look for internships. They help place them in jobs. That thing that made this place what it was for all those decades, that hasn't changed. It's still there. And when people say to me, well, Brian, why does it have to be 30,000 students? I tell them that's the wrong question. The question is, why aren't there 30 of these with 30,000 students? Because if there were 30 of these in this country with 30,000 students, with faculty members pouring into students of high character and strong faith commitments, we'd live in a different country. And that's the dream. That's the dream, that somehow we figure out how to make that happen. And so, for those of you that are here currently, thank you for your efforts. I can't tell you how proud I am of our students, their academic qualities, who they are as people. And for those of you that are coming back, thank you for what you did, laying a foundation for what we're doing today. and thank you for continuing to be involved here, because it means a lot to us that you are. So with that, I would like to turn it over to a relatively new dean of ours, but a person who's doing an unbelievable job, the dean of the Colangelo College of Business, Randi.
All right. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. I'm honored to announce and represent the Colangelo College of Business's first of two inductees, George Holm. George earned a bachelor's in business administration in 1977. He has 40 years of experience in the food service distribution industry. He has held leadership positions with Alliance Food Service, U.S. Foods, and Cisco. He served as president and CEO of Vistar, a company that he founded and grew into a $3.5 billion business. He is currently the president and CEO of the Performance Food Group. Performance Food Group was founded in 1875 in Richmond, Virginia, and now has 14,000 employees and is number 171 on the Fortune 500 list. So we're pretty proud of him as a business alumni. Unfortunately, George is traveling. He's a busy guy, and I think he's closing a deal he's been working on for months. But a couple months back, I had an opportunity to meet him when he was coming through Phoenix on business. And it was a lot of fun to get to know him and learn more about who he was as a person. And I knew he was a lock for the Hall of Fame because we spent most of our time talking about basketball. Because his background was he was a two-sport athlete in Delaware in high school. Then he played baseball and basketball at Brandywine College in Wilmington, Delaware. He came to GCU to play basketball. He only had 2 years of eligibility, and I want to put the timing of it in perspective. So GCU, Grand Canyon back then, won an NAIA national title in basketball in '75 and then again in '78. George played on the 76 and 77 teams. So he was always, he wished he had another year left. Let's just put it that way. But his 75 team did go 27-3, and they got upset in the second round of the NAIA. His first job out of college when he graduated here was with Associated Grocers as a food service salesperson. He's been married for 33 years, and he has 6 children. I'm honored to accept this award on his behalf. So please join me in congratulating George Holm for his induction in 2019.
Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Smith, and I'm the Dean for the College of Nursing and Healthcare Professions. It is truly an honor today to be able to present to you our college's inductee into the Alumni Hall of Fame. I had an opportunity to meet Hagir yesterday, and she is an amazing woman with quite a story, both personally as well as professionally. Hagir Elsheikh, after receiving her degree in 2014 from Grand Canyon University, she founded HSE Staffing Agency. This is a company in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that pairs healthcare providers with skilled employees. She also returned to her former community college, Harrisburg Area Community College, and she's a clinical instructor and a board member. And one of the things I learned about her yesterday in this company that she started for staffing, there are many agencies out there that provide nursing staff to healthcare organizations all across this country, but hers is quite unique and different. And she started this after experiencing being a person who went through staffing agencies herself. So she took what she learned, both the good as well as sometimes not the so good, and put that experience into her company, and now has really a standout company for staffing solutions. When her business began generating income, she was able to find time to focus on using her personal life story to help other people and to give back to her community. She started a nonprofit in 2015 called Tomorrow's Smiles, and this is to help victims of any kind of violence. But that isn't her only charitable contribution to the community. She is an active volunteer for Meals on Wheels, the Capital Area Coalition on Homelessness, Pennsylvania Alliance Against Trafficking in Humans, the YWCA, and the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence. She also created a podcast on human trafficking. She hosts a TV talk show called The Hagir Show, and she co-hosts a live radio talk show called TSO, Teens Speak Out, all in her free time. Her work and her continued service have not gone unrecognized. And now I'd like to show you just a short clip. Hopefully.
I'm an activist to begin with, not just a business. To me, the business part of it is not about the money, but the ability to use my life experience to help others achieve some success. In college back in Sudan, was a human rights and women rights activist. And I was beaten, lashed, hanged from a tree, had a bounty on my head. I survived torture in Sudan, moved here, and I faced domestic violence in my own home. To get out of that situation wasn't easy. I was a strong person, been through a lot, but it was hard for me to get out of that situation. And that not just made me stronger, but made me realize that there is other things out there that a lot of people don't know about. The whole idea of the TV talk show started when I was a guest on a radio show. And we had a producer that asked me, did you ever thought of doing a TV talk show? And I said, yeah, I always wanted to do that. And that's how the idea started. I basically like to discuss the things that do matter, not just to me, but to the community. So the show basically focused on teaching the regular person like you and I who did not know what is going on around them. And I am proud of what we were doing work-wise to educate and raise awareness. To me, education is the key for everything. I had my BSN, my Bachelor in Nursing at Grand Canyon University. Everything that I learned, I was able to apply. That made me more prepared to go out and get my business going. And my vision wasn't just to have a business. I was a single mother for 2 girls. So to start a business, it wasn't just having a business. The idea was to have a family-like environment where I can relate to my employees and understand. I have over 175 employees as of today. I know every and each one of them, not just by name. I know their kids, their family. They know they can reach me at any time. Honestly, that wouldn't be possible if I did not have my own business and the flexibility. And that's all going back to having a good education at HAC and at GCU. Thank you very much for this award. I mean, I'm honored.
Please join me in congratulating Hagir.
Good afternoon. On behalf of everyone here at GCU, it's a privilege to introduce our next inductee, Randi Johns Riggs. Randi attended GCU 2006 through 2009 as a student athlete, graduated with honors, and was winner of the Roland L. Beck Award, and that recognizes athletics, academics, leadership, and community service. As a member of the Lope softball team, 3-time academic All-American, true definition of student athlete. And then a snapshot of the playing career. I'll be brief because she holds a lot of records. RBI first, 249. Home runs first, 35. Doubles first, 56. Career batting average, 407 on 264 hits. And she represented GCU in 219 games. Today, she's a counselor at Copper Canyon High School right here in Glendale, Arizona. Let's take a look at her video.
Riggs, formerly Johns. I graduated in 2009 with a degree in psychology, and I played college softball here. I have a lot of people that influenced me here at GCU. I think I originally chose to come to this campus because my brother played baseball here. Also, I know that Ann Pearson runs a strong program. She really ties in that academic and softball aspect of it, and I'm able to apply that to my real life. So she really nourished that while we were here.
We had to have her on the field. She's just a huge presence, and her excitement and passion to play the game is just contagious for everybody else. So she was fun. She started as a freshman all the way through her senior year. Just like I said, a big player for us. She holds so many records in our record books. She motivated her teammates. She worked so hard, and again, her passion to play the game and compete was just unbelievable. She's that woman that you want your daughter to grow up like, with her integrity, with her character. You know, I couldn't be more proud of her if she was my own kid. Her parents did a great job with her, and they were a tremendous family in our program.
GCU has given me the confidence that I always needed to be successful in my adult life. I feel like I was able to go out in the real world after I graduated with the courage to take on any task, any job, any interview that I needed. It wasn't just me that got me through, and the last 10 years I have a huge support system. So I want to say thank you to my Hall of Fame village for helping me out through the years. My strongest piece of advice for a current student athlete here at GCU would be to never take a day for granted. Play every day like it's your last. Show up, give 100%, because guess what? It comes to an end. It's 4 short years, and when it's gone, it's gone. Live every single day like it's your last so that you have no regrets.
We have so many positive experiences with Randi, and I'm so glad that she's still a part of this program, and I couldn't be happier for her, and just wish her all the best, and congratulations on this huge day for her.
And I might add, a great human being. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Randi. Come on up.
All right, up next, and just as impressive for the Colangelo College of Business and our inductee is Chief Reginald Freeman. He's a true servant leader in public service and with the military. Chief Freeman is the 37th Fire Chief and Emergency Management Director for the city of Hartford, Connecticut. He traveled a long way to be here with us today. Previously, Chief Freeman served as the International Fire Chief for Lockheed Martin Aeronautics in Fort Worth, Texas. He was responsible for providing the international guidance and direction to the Italian and Japanese governments through the Ministry of Defense and training and consulting to each nation's Air Force, Fire Department personnel as it pertained to the Lockheed Martin F-35. Chief Freeman also served in Iraq as a civilian fire chief for the U.S. Department of Defense and coalition allies from 2004 and 2008. He is a graduate and fellow of Harvard University's Senior Executives for State and Local Government program at the Kennedy School of Government. Please join me in watching a short video that has F-35s in it.
My name is Reginald Freeman. I studied a Master of Science at Executive Fire Service Leadership, and I graduated that program in 2008. I'm currently studying my Doctor of Education with Grand Canyon University, which is organizational leadership with an emphasis in organizational development. What makes me very proud to be GCU alum is the principles and the values that this university stands on. That's what originally attracted me to Grand Canyon University when I was looking for a valued program that could be of benefit to me, not only personally, but also professionally. And what Grand Canyon University has done for countless professionals has been nothing short of extraordinary. My career history spans back to 2001, where I first started my fire service career as a firefighter EMT in Mississippi. Afterwards, after approximately 4 years, I traveled to Iraq, where I was a civilian chief officer working on Department of Defense military installations. I was there from November 5th, 2004 to November 12th, 2008. After Iraq, I was the fire chief for Lockheed Martin, and which I extremely enjoyed that experience, being able to serve those who protect us. And after Lockheed Martin, I was sworn in as the 37th fire chief for the city of Hartford in Hartford, Connecticut. The person who has inspired and motivated me the most, I would say, would be my wife. We just celebrated our 15th year wedding anniversary, but we've been together since our junior year in high school. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. Before I enrolled in my graduate program, I was familiar with some of the ideologies, but certainly was not well aware or had an in-depth understanding of what it actually was to lead unselfishly. And that is what GCU has given me the opportunity to do through higher education, is to know and understand what I do, but more importantly, how it should be done. I try to make sure that's infectious with everyone on my team. We are exactly that. We're a team and a family in the fire service. And GCU has helped me find my path, find my direction, and to really realize my ultimate goal, and that is just to help as many people as I possibly can.
Really proud to have Chief Freeman, a true servant leader, right, to be in our Hall of Fame.
Good afternoon. I am Kimberly LaPrade, and I have the honor to be the Dean for the College of Education and to introduce our inductee this year, Sharky Baker. He has his fan club in the house. I've personally known Sharky even when I was a student here serving fuels for finals. So he has a long legacy with his wife, Leona, of 61 years, and the extended Baker family, I think 53 and counting, with ties to GCU. So we could not be more proud to honor you this way. You are a longtime supporter, Sharky. I see it every game, the Guild, Fuel for Finals, just goes on. And your heart, and you serve as a role model for the college. I want you to know that. We look up to you so much. And I know you share this day with Leona. So today he continues to attend university events. The list is long of all the committees and task force and things that he started at this university, not just for the College of Ed. So if you would join me, we'll watch a little bit more about Sharky.
I'm Sharky Baker. My degree was Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, and I graduated in 1956. In 1956, it was a campus of gray buildings. It was a quad. It had two dorms, men and women. The women was called Bright Angel, the men was called Kaibab, and there were about 350 students. I was on the first baseball team along with two of my brothers, Charlie and Jess. I was also on the basketball team. I had a basketball scholarship. And I was one of those role players that played when we were 40 ahead or 40 behind. Probably the most important thing for me that happened on this campus is that's where I met my wife. I would not have been able to do the things I did without her. She's been a fantastic support. I can't thank GCU enough for what it gave me. It was never in my mind to be a district superintendent. Never crossed my mind. Or a high school principal either. My advice for someone who comes to GCU as a student, just don't go to class. I mean, don't limit yourself. Get involved, put it on, make it a part of you, because the rewards are fantastic.
Join me in congratulating our inductee, Sharky Baker.
Absolutely wonderful. Please, let's give all of our inductees one more round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you everyone so much for coming to our induction ceremony. We would like to continue to celebrate this wonderful homecoming weekend. If you guys would love to join us for the men's basketball game in the arena, and we also have our tailgate out on the quad with food and beverage. Thank you so much for coming.